Hi, it's Orit Krug, and today we are talking about how to release your trauma and fear of abandonment through movement. So this is going to be a different, mind-blowing video for you because right off the bat, we are talking about how to actually release this fear through your body and movement. We're not going into mind techniques or affirmations or any of that because it hasn't helped you at this point. And it's not going to, because when you have this trauma and this deep fear of abandonment stored in your body, you have to release it through the body. Our bodies don't understand verbal language. It can't process words. So when you're trying to talk yourself out of this fear, your body and your nervous system are still closed up and still like, oh my gosh, my partner is going to leave, my partner is going to reject or abandon me. And there's no amount of words that can convince you otherwise. So let's just get straight to the point and talk about how to do this through movement. So this being one of the most common ways that past trauma really impacts our ability to let in our partner's love, because we're so afraid that the relationship is going to end badly. One of the ways that really shows up once we work with our clients is through movement and through the body, right? I mean, they have this awareness that they're afraid of abandonment and that they're sabotaging their relationship, but the body reveals it so deeply as well. And what we actually come to find out is that they're constantly abandoning themselves. And this fear of abandonment starts with the person. What I mean by that is like you're projecting all this fear of abandonment onto your partner. My partner is going to leave me. My partner is going to reject me. And yet at the same time, that's exactly what you're doing to yourself. You're not listening to your needs. You're abandoning your own desires, your own values. Perhaps you're not speaking up for what you want in your relationship, so you're putting it aside and abandoning that. Or you're not even realizing, this is usually subconscious, that what you want and what you need in your relationship, you're pushing aside to please your partner, to accommodate your partner, even though they're not asking you to, and that they actually want you to be yourself because that's who they fell in love with, but you're constantly abandoning yourself. And it gets projected onto your partner doing that. And of course, the fear of abandonment stems from being abandoned and hurt and rejected in the past. But until, and that's because of someone else doing that to you. But until today, you can start being there for yourself 100%. You're going to keep feeling this fear. So I'll give you an example. Recently in my Let Love In group program, this came out in true colors in the movement experience. So just to give you a little bit of a foundation, once we start to get in our bodies and move, we will discover that our bodies have a very authentic way of wanting to express ourselves, and that it looks different from others. And specifically when we're doing this work to heal trauma and change unhealthy patterns, there are specific movements that you can learn and practice and embody that will help you become more open or more standing your ground. And so one thing that we did recently is I had my group move in pairs. So they split up and move in pairs. And I had told them, as you're moving with your partner, move in the way that you want to express yourself, that you want to essentially behave and show up in this relationship, in this interaction with your partner through this movement, and see what happens. And what happened, they did the movement, and what happened was that some of the women found that they totally left their bodies and just accommodated their partner's movement. So they were following and mirroring their partner's movement, totally losing themselves in the interaction and being like, wait, I was supposed to do what I wanted to do or how I wanted to express myself. And I don't even think I was there. So they totally abandoned themselves in this interaction, and it completely represents how they abandon themselves and lose themselves in the intimacy of their relationship, or in a disagreement even in their relationship, where it's like you totally abandoned what how you wanted to show up or what you wanted to say. So that came out really strongly in movement. Another thing that happened with some of the other group members is that they were present in the interaction, but they felt really uncomfortable and anxious doing what they wanted, because it looked so different than the other person that they were moving with. And so they felt this anxiety, and they either just felt that discomfort, or they changed what they were doing to accommodate again the partner that they were moving with. And so that's a really common way that we see in movement, which is the basis, the foundation of behavior, right? Because with our bodies, we create action, and action is behavior. And so we see really, really, really quickly and deeply like those unhealthy patterns that you're doing in your relationship, including especially how you keep abandoning yourself. And so it is essential for you to start being there for yourself, for you to get to know, not just who you are in your thoughts and your mind, because anyone can kind of bullshit that, honestly. We have such good filters. We have such strong defense mechanisms, or we can tell ourselves something, or we can convince ourselves that we want a certain thing, when really deep down, if we were tuned into our bodies, we would know that we were faking it, or that actually we weren't being true to ourselves. We were just accommodating someone else to stay safe, because in the past we had a different opinion that ended up in hurt. So if you really want to stop fearing abandonment and to release this trauma, you have to first tune into your body, understand what you want and need, and start expressing that truly, authentically, without accommodating, without abandoning yourself, being totally 100% unapologetically you. And then you're going to stop, like, once you do that, you stop projecting this fear onto your partner, because you've released the trauma and you trust yourself to be there for yourself, which helps you believe that someone else is going to 100% be there for you too, unconditionally. But you can't expect anyone else to do that until you do that for yourself first. And if you want some more support in doing that and understanding how to release that trauma from your body, how to rewire your nervous system and change these unhealthy patterns so that you can achieve this, so that you can let your partner's love in without constantly fearing this abandonment, then I invite you to sign up for my free Wired for Love training. Wired for Love has helped thousands of women across the globe understand what they actually need to do to break unhealthy relationship cycles and save their relationships from falling apart without endlessly trying to repeat affirmations or convince themselves of being worthy of staying and being worthy of love, when honestly their bodies just don't believe it. So if you want your body to believe it, if you want to really enjoy the healthy, lasting love that's in front of you, sign up for my free Wired for Love training. The link is to the right or the left, or it's up or below, depending on where you're watching. So click on that link, and I will see you in there. Bye.